Hey everybody, how you going? My name's Steve. Welcome back to Command Centre Wargaming. So in this video we're going to be going through Chapter Approved 2018, quite in depth as well, okay? So look, I know there are a lot of other videos out there already on Chapter Approved, but to be honest, bar maybe one or two of them, I haven't been quite impressed by the coverage. I've seen a lot of channels basically just turn around and go, oh well, you know, this is like really big, so I'm not going to cover it all. I'm just going to answer some questions and kind of stuff like that. So guys, I don't roll like that on here. I'm a hardcore Warhammer player. I love it, okay, and I love going through the rules. And if I spend the time to watch a video, I want to see a comprehensive review. So I'm going to go through and give like a lot of my thoughts and analysis into this Chapter Approved, talk about some of the tactics I think are going to work and everything. You may not agree with everything I say, alright, but they're just, again, they're just my opinions, okay? Some of those opinions I change, like based on the audience comments and things like that. I've had my mind change many times, okay? Yeah, so we'll be going through this book. It's going to be awesome. Just to let you know, I've already done a quite extensive lists analysis with Adamantium Wang. We've gone through a lot of the points already. We've gone through and he's gone through and done the percentages and everything like that, okay? And I've narrated it. So that's already down there in the links. So when it comes to the points, we're in this video, we're really only going to be covering the points that I haven't done in those videos, okay? But I will provide the link down below there underneath the description. And so yeah, look, we've already done a very comprehensive Vigilus video. It's quite a big one. It goes for like an hour and a half. And then we did like a separate Vigilus specification detachment, specialist detachment video as well, covering like pretty much, well, every strategy in the book, going through the rules, every warlord trait, stuff like that. So if you find that helpful, you can check that out on the channel as well. Alright, it's pretty awesome. So yeah. So guys, look, if you find the videos a little bit long or whatever, like I said, you know, we're not casuals here. You know, we go through our books, we go through our rules, and you know, you can just use the slider to like sort of slide around and work out, you know, sort of like find the content that you want. Otherwise, it's all good, guys. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this. I've read quite a little bit of it already, and we've also got the Sisters of Battle beta codex, which I think I'll actually do in another video, okay? But we'll see how we go for time and all that kind of stuff as well. I'm going to have another video coming out as well, talking about Saint Celestine as a HQ choice. I've actually just ordered her. I've never had her in my army because I've always kind of been a little bit reluctant. I've never been a fan of the model or the I don't know, the synergy, you know, between the Space Marines there. Like I have heard a lot, you know, good things about her. And yeah, so anyway, that'll be in another video as well. Okay, everybody, fantastic. Look, welcome to the channel. I'm Steve. Let's get stuck into it. I'll see you in there. Alright, fantastic. So there we go, that awesome bumper there. Ooh, Billy Baroo. This is going to be a big one. Okay. So yeah. So, okay. Chapter Approved 2018. Alright. Fantastic. So listen, first of all, it's quite a thin book. Alright, I must admit I was expecting it to be a little bit thicker. This is it compared to the Vigilus book. Right, so the Vigilus being a very thick hardcover book, okay? This is more of a paperback, still quite sturdy, still quite nice, but I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger, and yeah, but still pretty sizable. There is a lot in here, so the way that they've gone through and laid everything out, it's actually very compact, and they've got a lot of information in there, like, you know, on every page, so it's really good. Now, what I'm going to try to do, I'm trying a new format here. I used to just record this with the camera facing the table down, but I've had a bit of feedback from our subscribers saying that perhaps they like to see me more, so I'm going to try to play with something where I'm going to talk and I'm going to try to have the book like off to the corner, and so you can kind of see what's going on there anyway. It might be a little bit hard to read what's going on there in the book, but at the same time, guys, I mean, you should buy the book from Games Workshop anyway if you really want to read it. Alright, but this is going to be pretty comprehensive as well. In terms of like the points and stuff, again, check down in the description down below. There's going to be heaps of lists of adamantium wangs done, and you'll be able to follow things there and have a look and see some points values if you really need them. But I gather they're going to be all over the net by now anyway, so cool. Alright, so the first page is just contents, table of contents, right? You know, you've got your usual legal disclaimers by Games Workshop here. Alright, introduction. So the way I'll do it, I'm just going to read the top blurb. Everybody should know by now what open play is, what narrative play is, you know, all that kind of stuff. I might go through it in the video as well, see what happens. But just Google it, guys, if you don't know. So welcome to Chapter Proof 2018, a compendium of material for use in your games of Warhammer 40,000. Inside you will find pages more packed with offerings than a black ship bringing sacrifices to the Emperor. That's pretty funny. Including new and updated rules, data sheets, missions, and much more. So for those of you who don't know, the black ships are the ships that bring the Psykers over to the Golden Throne. They sacrifice like 10,000 Psykers a day to keep the Emperor of Man alive, okay? Alright, so it's pretty cool. So, nice little joke there. It's always good to start the book off with a little bit of dark humour. You know, all good. So, all good. Now, we just have a description, the first 2 pages. We have a description about, you know, open play, narrative play, matched play. Okay, I will go over this very quickly. So open play is basically just a very casual format. It's basically like anything goes there. Narrative, there's also like the power system. Okay, so you don't have points for each model. It's just basically you have a power level for each model, and that power level you just add those up. So you start off, you say, okay, well, you know, let's play a game of 200 power level, and then you add those power levels up as you go, and then you stop at the army and you get the army together. So for example, the cart here, this all cart has 5 power level, okay, you know, and that. Now, my quick opinion on this, I don't play open play. I only play matched play for the reason that I just find that the power levels don't scale effectively, and match play points are a lot, you know, more balanced when adding up you know, forces and things like that. One of the problems is, I mean, you know, you can have a unit like, for example, Terminators used to be like this, where it would say, oh, take a Terminator for like 6 power level. And, you know, like, I don't know if the Terminators are 6 power level. I think they were. I could look it up, but just bear with me. I'm giving an example. So basically, and then what it would do is let's say, well, like, you could take them with, like, you know, a power maul. You could take them with, like, it didn't matter what, or a thunder hammer, and they'd still be like 6 power level, because it doesn't like include like the upgrades or the weapons. It's just like this model is just based this. So whereas with points, it's like, okay, Terminators are 23 points a model. I think back then they were 26. You know, Storm Shield is 5 points a model. You've got to add that on, and then it's an exact sort of metric of points. So your army's a lot more like even, a lot more balanced. With power level, like there's a lot more, you know, sort of like exploitation and jipping that can go on. You know, like, so I said, open play is alright. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing open play, but I just prefer my points to be a little bit more specifically matched. That's all. Narrative play is basically when you're just going through, you're doing campaigns and stuff like that, and all that. And then you've got match play, which is the competitive mode. That's where you're using the point system, okay, which is up the back. Christmas card from GW. Up the back of the book, you've got all the points, costs, stuff like that. All right, so that's your little recap for anyone who's not sure. Sorry for the veterans out there. You know, I know that's pretty basic, but you know, we got to accommodate for everybody. All right, there's people out here probably watching the video. They might not know this. Okay, so yeah, we got to accommodate for everyone. All right. So first of all, we go through open play within the book. All right. Now, the first thing that they cover are the looted wagons, okay? Now, the looted wagons are basically conversions of Elim and Rust tanks for the orcs. And you've also got some other vehicles, like carts and things like that as well. Alright, so I'm just going to have a look through here. This is just all fluff. So enemy armoured vehicles that have been captured and repurposed by the orcs are known as looted wagons. They provide green skins, all of the clans with wider range of mechanized support. And besides, orcs think there is something inherently funny about blowing foes up in their own weapons. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough, because you know, it's fair enough. So yeah, like I said, it's just fluff here. Bit on conversion. Once again, I've got other modelling tutorials on the channel for that, so I'm not going to go in here. So the first one is we have some data sheets here. The first one's a cart, second one's a wagon. The next one is a battle fortress. Okay, so the battle fortress is kind of like your Baneblade sort of equivalent. It's 29 power level. The wagon, I believe, is more like a Lehman Russie kind of tank thing. And the cart is like a little, sort of like a chimera. I'm just looking at the wounds, so it's like, yeah. So we'll go through that first. So cart is power level 5, okay? It is actually a troop choice by the looks of it. It's got the little arrow going up, which is interesting. So you can use it as a troop choice. Now, it does have a bracket, okay? So the bracket will change depending on, you know, how damaged it is, depending on wounds. So, but I'll just go from the base. So we'll start off with movement 12. It'll then go, ballistic skill will be 5. Alright, so weapon skill is 5. Sorry, ballistic skill is 5. Weapon skill is 5, that's right. Strength 6, toughness 7, 10 wounds. Attacks are 3 when it's untouched. Leadership is 6, and it's a 3-up save, alright? So it's not bad. Okay, so going through that, the cart is a single model equipped with a big shooter, alright? So, big shooter, range 36, assault 3, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. Shooter, okay, range 18, assault 2, strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage. Then you can equip it with a Scorcher, as a range of 8, assault D6. Strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target, so it's a flamer. Okay, sticker bomb launcher, it's range of 12. Assault is 2d6. Strength 3, AP 0, 1 damage. This weapon can be fired only once per battle. Okay, so those are the weapon types here on the data sheet. All right, war gear options. This model may take up to 2 additional weapons from the following list: big shooter and a scorcher. So you can, it starts with a big shooter, you can add another big shooter, and you can add a scorcher to it for more points, okay? And once again, because it's only power level, you just get that. So it's like, well, you know, you might as well take it, right? And you could kind of see why I like have an issue with power level games, because it's just like, oh, you know, here's my repulsor dreadnought, power level, whatever, and I'm just going to take, you know, those las cannons, 3 heavy stubbers, you know, oh yeah, you know, just chock it all on and my points don't get affected. So, whereas, you know, so yeah. Whereas in match play they do, okay, so yeah. But anyway, you can take it. This model may take up to 6 shooters. This model may take a stick bomb launcher. Alright, so cool. Now on the damage chart, okay, you've got wounds remaining. So between 6 and 10 wounds, your movement's 12, your ballistic skill is 5, your attacks are 3. Between 3 and 5 wounds, your movement is 6, so it's halved. Right, so it's just under half there on the wounds. It's really hard. Ballistic skills 6+, and it's D3 attacks. All right, so you can see that it hits on a 6. So once it gets wounded, it's you know, you're on 6s to hit. So then you've got remaining 1 to 2 wounds. Now it's movement 3, so it's severely crippled. That's almost a quarter of its movement, and ballistic skill is 6, so it can't really get any lower than that or higher than that, really, can it? And its attacks go down to 1. Okay, so it's you know, it damages up pretty easy. It burns up pretty easy. So the model explodes. So when it's reduced to 0 wounds, you roll a d6, and you know what happens there. Big red button. All right. So once per battle, at the start of the shooting phase, the driver of the cart can hit the inviting and mysterious red button mounted on his dashboard. When he does, roll a d3 on the table below to see what happens. Okay, so you've got a little bit of a damage chart here. D3. All right, result. So 1 is a booster. Immediately move this model 6 as if it were your movement phase. Models cannot disembark from this vehicle before doing so. Then you got 2, which is more Dakar, so that adds 1 to the strength of the model, alright? Add 1 to the strength characteristic of the model's ranged weapons until the end of the phase. Then you've got 3, which is the Auto Welder. This model regains D3 lost wounds. So it's kind of pretty powerful stuff there, but on a random bracket, okay? So, Dakar, alright? This is the other special rule here in the abilities. Each time you roll an unmodified hit roll of a 6 for an attack with a ranged weapon made by a model in this unit, that hit roll succeeds regardless of any modifiers. Alright, so that basically means that if you're fighting against a Raven Guard or whatever and it's a +1 to hit, you roll a 6, you hit. Alright, so it's essentially, it's always hits on a 6, right? In addition, immediately make an additional hit roll against the same target using the same weapon. These additional hit rolls cannot themselves generate any further hit rolls when firing a weapon with randomly determined characteristics. Example, Bubble Chucker. Any additional hit rolls use the same characteristics as the hit roll that generated the additional hit roll. This ability does not affect weapons that automatically hit their target. Blah. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like a bit of a Tesla. Auto hit the 6, bit of a Tesla. You get another hit roll. Doesn't, you know, if you get another 6 with that hit that you've re-rolled, you're not going to get another one, etc. Okay, so it's all good. This model can transport 10 flash gits. Alright, clan infantry models. Each mega armor or jump pack model takes a space of 2. Alright, faction keywords, orc, clan. Keywords, vehicle, transport, looted wagon, cart. Alright, so that's the first one there. It's good to see the orcs getting a bit of love in here because just to address this quickly, they didn't actually get any points changes in the chapter approved. So it's kind of good to see them get a little bit of love there. They are a more recent codex, so I guess they didn't need it. And, you know, Games Workshop would have scaled all the points sort of like around them. There are quite a few surprises in this book as well, by the way. So, like, for example, Knights didn't move. Dakari, Dark Elder, I think they got 1 unit got a points change. The Jakari I wasn't really surprised about. I kind of knew they were OP anyway. And I've been saying it on the channel for, like, since I started a couple of weeks ago. But I was really surprised with the Knights. I really thought that Castellan would be going up in points, you know. But anyway, just to address the elephants in the room, in case you don't know, Knights didn't go anywhere. Dark Eldar got like 1 unit that was changing points, and I can tell you right now what that is over here. Or maybe we should leave it for a bit later. Yeah, look, I should probably leave that for later. I don't want to skip ahead too much, but yeah, alright, so Grey Knights are pretty beefy as well, alright, so we kind of know that. Alright, so the next one, now this is a heavy support choice for the Orcs. Again, it's open play. We have the Wagon, okay. So it starts off, Wagon, movement 12. Movement 10, weapons skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength 7, toughness 8, wounds 12. Attacks start off at 3, leadership is 6, and it's got a 3-up save, right? So, so once that gets bracketed, I think I'll do the brackets first. So basically, once you go down to between 4 to 6 wounds, your movement goes to 7, so just over half. Your ballistic skill goes to 6, same profile as the cart, and you get D3 attacks instead of 3 attacks. Right, when you go down to 1 to 3 wounds, you got movement of 4, weapon skill is 6, doesn't change, can't get much worse than 6, but you go down to 1 damage, okay? So I believe it's exactly the same as the other one. And yes, I am correct, okay? So it is exactly the same as the other one, alright? So the Wagon is a single model equipped with a big shooter. Alright, so you must take a big shooter. Other weapons on the profile is a big shooter, range 36, assault 3, strength 5, 0 AP, damage 1. Alright, the kill cannon, range 24, heavy D6 damage. Sorry, heavy D6 shots. Strength 8, AP minus 2, D3 damage. So it's pretty decent. The lobber, okay, or the lobber, range 48, heavy D6, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. This weapon can target units that are not visible to the bearer. Right, so they can target stuff that's hiding and creeping around and in cover. Rocket launcher, range 24. Okay, that's a little bit of a... this is a rocket launcher. It's not a missile launcher, so it's going to be a little bit shorter range. Assault 1, Strength 8, minus AP 2, 3 damage. The Scorcher, okay, is range 8, Assault D6. Strength 5, minus AP 1, 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. Sticker Bomb Launcher, range 12, Assault 2d6. Strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. This weapon can be fired only once per battle. Alright. The Zap Gun. So this actually got a massive, crazy stratagem in the Vigilus campaign. Check out the video for that one. I think it's near the end, just so you know. But oh my goodness, it's so scary. Like, yeah. Anyway, so range 36, heavy 1, 2d6, minus AP 3, 3 damage. Before firing this weapon, roll to determine the strength of the shot. If the result is 11 plus, do not make a wound roll. Instead, if the attack hits, it causes 3 mortal wounds. The bearer then suffers 1 mortal wound. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so like the way I'm reading that, if you roll over 12, you do not make a wound roll. Instead, so if you roll double 6s or like a 6 and a 5, you don't even bother wounding. It just causes 3 mortal wounds, and then you as well, the bearer, because you're the bearer of the weapon, you also take a mortal wound. You've got 12 wounds, so I don't think it's a massive issue. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of not, right? But anyway, whatever. Let me know, Orc players, how you go with that. I've never used it before. I'm not an Orc player. I've got a couple of Orc models, but I'm not an Orc player. So let me know your feedback, everybody, please, in the comments. It's almost always welcome. The model may take a kill cannon, lobber, or zap gun. The model may replace its big shooter with a scorcher or zap gun. This model replaces... Yeah, okay, get rid of that. The model may take up to 2 additional weapons from the following list: big shooter, scorcher, rocket launcher. This model may take a sticker bomb launcher. Explodes, we read that rule. Daka, that's a hits on a 6 rule. Shoot him again. If this model remains stationary or moves under half speed in its movement phase, i.e. it moves a distance in inches less than half of its current move characteristics, it can shoot twice in the following shooting phase with a kill cannon or lobber. That's really good. The weapon must target the same unit both times. Yeah, whatever. You know, obviously. Big red button, it's exactly the same as the other one. Okay? You got booster for movement, you got more Daka, add 1 to strength, and then you've got auto welder, which heals D3 mortal wounds. Okay? Sorry, D3 wounds. Next one, Battle Fortress, power level 29. Alright? Start base stats are starting off undamaged. We've got 26 wounds, you got movement 10, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength 9, toughness 8, 26 wounds, attacks are 9, leadership is 8, and a 3-up save. Okay, when you're down to 13 wounds, your movement goes down to 7, your ballistic skill 6, and 6 attacks. So not quite as brutal as the D3 as like the other two, but you're still going down to half. Okay. And 1 to 6, you're looking at movement 4, you're looking at ballistic skill 6, which is the same, and then you're looking at attacks goes down to 3. So by the looks of things, like, you know, the Orc vehicles, they're quite effective when they're up and running, but once they start taking damage, they really start to degrade, you know, which I guess is pretty fluffy, you know. Awesome. So a Battle Fortress is a single model equipped with a def cannon, kill cannon, big shooter, twin big shooter, and a crushing tracks. And so big shooter, range 36, assault 3, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. Def cannon, 72 range, heavy 3, D6, strength 10, minus AP 4, D6 damage. That's pretty huge. Kill cannon, range 24, heavy D6, strength 8, AP minus 2, 2 damage. The lobber, 48, heavy D6, strength 5, 0 AP, 1 damage. This weapon can target units that are not visible, so it's like a mortar. I think it's like a squiggle mortar, isn't it? Anyway. Mega Gatler, yeah, so range 48, that's pretty good for a Gatling cannon. Heavy 4d6, wow, okay. Strength 7, AP -2, 1 damage, geez, that's pretty good, I like that weapon. The rocket launcher, same as before, okay, 48, 4d6, strength, 24, assault 1, strength 8, minus AP 2, 3 damage. Scorcher, okay, same as before. I'm not going to read all these out, they're the same. Sticker bomb launcher, you could take a twin big shooter, so it's assault 6, strength 5, and AP 0, 1 damage. Twin Scorcher is range 8, I've read that one out before. It's Twin Scorcher though, it's different, so I'll read it out. So it's range 8, assault 2d6, strength 5, minus AP 1, 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. The Zap gun, same profile as before. Big gun, okay, Zap. The Crushing Tracks. So we got range is melee, type is melee, strength is user, which is 9, so, you know, it's pretty much going to wound anything, any infantry. AP -2, D3 damage. Right, and remember, if you're on full wounds, you're doing like 9 attacks with that. Oh, wow, man, that's pretty hectic. That's pretty hectic. You can see now why these are only in like open play. Okay. So anyway, war gear options. This model replaces Def Cannon with a Mega Gatler. This model replaces Kill Cannon with a Twin Big Shooter, Zap Gun, or Lobber. This model may take up to 2 additional weapons from the following list: Big Shooter, Scorcher, Rocket Launcher. This model may take either 2 sponsons for 4 sponsons each. Is equipped with a Zap Gun or a Rocket Launcher, and either a Twin Big Shooter or Twin Scorcher. Example, Rocket Launcher, Twin Scorcher. This model may take up to 2 sticker bombs launchers. 2 sticker bomb launchers. Okay, so you can have 2. Battle Fortress ability. This model can fall back in the movement phase and still shoot and or charge in the same turn. In addition, this model ignores the penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons, and can except when firing Overwatch still fire its weapons if enemy units are within 1 of it. But only its twin big shooters or twin scorchers can target units that are within 1 of it. Other guns must target other units. Finally, this model only gains a bonus to its saving throws for being in cover if at least half of the model is obscured from the firer. Alright, so that's basically it was pretty much a rule before, it was an unwritten rule. But they've kind of clarified it a little bit in this book now. There's a whole page on like cover and kind of stuff I'm going to go through quite extensively. I think it's good to finally get that clarification as well, even though you know, it's been pretty much like, you know, unspoken rule for ages. But yeah, big red button, exactly the same. Explodes, exactly the same. All right, so on a 6 it explodes. But it's each unit within 2d6 suffers d6 mortal wounds, as opposed to like d3 mortal wounds. So big explosion, guys. All right, Daka, same thing. 6s always hit. 6s always, like, create other hits. Cool. So this model is equipped with a Melter Gatler. It gains a transport keyword and can transport 30 flash gits or clan infantry models. Mega armor or jump pack models take the space of 2 other models. Okay, so faction keywords: Orc, Clan, Vehicle, Titanic, Looted, Battle Wagon, Fortress. Okay, cool. Then we've got like this sort of like conversion guide here, alright, which is pretty nifty. It just basically goes through, shows you how to convert a model. Again, I'm probably going to just give that a bit of a skip because that's a different field. It's pretty stock standard anyway. It's essentially just selling, you know, GW conversion tools like saws and things like that. Okay, so awesome. Alright, so the next part, we've got these custom characters. Alright everybody, so in this section, we're dealing with custom characters. Now, what this enables you to do, you can basically pick a character that's not a named character, but just like a general character, and you can go through and you can create a custom character out of them. Alright, and you can give them like a whole bunch of rules. So I'll go ahead and I'll read this out. So creating your characters. To create a data sheet for a named character, pick a character data sheet from your army other than a named character and decide if you want to create a hero, a mighty hero, or a legendary hero. For each of these types of characters, you can make a number of selections from the tables of the following pages. You can make up to 4 selections for a hero, up to 6 selections for a mighty hero, and up to 8 selections for a legendary hero. To make a selection, simply choose one of the following tables and either pick the result most suited to your character, or alternatively roll the dice indicated on the table to randomly determine your selection and let destiny shape your champion. The following restrictions apply. You cannot select an ability that has the same effect as your character already has, either through one of their own innate abilities or an ability gained through the Warlord trait or relic. That makes sense. Weapon improvements cannot be applied to relics. Psychic enhancements are only available to psychers. Okay, that makes sense. If you are randomly generating your sections and you roll a result that breaks any of the above restrictions or simply cannot be applied, for example, an upgrade to a ranged weapon for a character without ranged weapons, simply roll again. Okay, it's very easy. Alright, so it's very easy. Now, I looked at all this before, but I wasn't actually able to find points for these guys. So I figure, like, it can't be that you just go off the normal points, because you can give these guys some pretty super crazy rules here. So I believe this is only, again, in open play, because it's under the open play section. So it would have been nice to see this in matched play as well, though, but what can you do, you know? So, for example, you pick a Space Marine Captain, sub-faction keyword should be suited for chapter. If your character does not have any sub-factions, as is the case with the Genestealer Cult's characters, substitute the sub-faction keyword for the least general faction keyword it has. In this example, it would be Genestealer Cults and not Tyranids. Alright, so cool. And now these are some of the additional abilities that you can give your character, okay? Alright, so you've got a D66 ability, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, etc. These are basically, so I assume you will roll, yeah, you roll a D66 for this. Then you've got a D6 for a result chart for weapon improvements. And then you've got psychic enhancements, and then you've got 2D6 for character modifiers. Right, so... Alright, Inspirational Fighter. Reroll hit rolls of a 1 in the fight phase. Beast Hunter. You can reroll failed wound rolls for attacks made by this model in the fight phase if it's a monstrous creature. Heroic. This model can perform a heroic intervention if after the enemy has completed all the other charge moves, it is within 6 of the enemy units and can move up to 6 when doing so. Duelist. Add 1 to the model's strength and attacks characteristics while it is with one of a enemy character's units. Zealot. You can reroll failed hit rolls for this model in the fight phase, okay, if it made a charge move performed by heroic intervention or was charged this turn. Alright, Deadly Charge. Add 1 to the attacks characteristics of this model in the fight phase if it made a charge move this turn. Targeting Augury. Yeah, Augury. Enemy units do not gain the benefit of cover to their saving throws against attacks made by friendly sub-faction units within 6 of this model when the attack is made. Directed Fire. Reroll hit rolls of a 1 in the shooting phase. Deadly Marksman. Add 1 to the damage characteristics. Sundering Shots. Each wound roll of a 6 made for this model's range attack inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. It's pretty powerful stuff here, guys, so I'm telling you. Keen Eye. This model can target enemy characters, units in the shooting phase, even if they are not the closest enemy model. Defensive Fighter. When the model fires Overwatch, it successfully hits on rolls 5 or 6 instead of 6. Wow. Tau. Guard. Okay. Grudge. You can reroll any hit roll, wound roll, damage rolls made for this model's attacks that target the enemy warlord. Wow. Resilient. Each time this model loses a wound, roll a dice of a 5 up. It does not lose that wound. Camouflage. Add 2 instead of 1 to saving throws made for this model when it is receiving the benefit of cover. Stealth Assault. Enemy units cannot fire Overwatch at this model. Oh gee, that's huge. Indomitable. All damage suffered by this model is halved upon rounding up, so it's similar to Calgar's new rule. Impervious. This model gains 1 lost wound at the start of your turn. Infiltrator. During deployment, you can set this model up in ambush instead of placing it on the battlefield. At the end of your movement phases, it can reveal its location. Set it up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 away from enemy models. Subtract 1 from hit. So stealthy. Subtract 1 from hit rolls. Target to hard to kill. Wound rolls of a 1, 2, 3 made for attacks that target this model always fail, even if the attack has a strength characteristic higher than this model's toughness characteristic. Handy. Strategic feat or feint. At the start of the first battle round, but before the first turn begins, you can pick a friendly sub-faction unit within 6 of this model and set it up again anywhere wholly within the deployment zone. If your opponent has any units with similar abilities, roll off. Starting with the winner of the roll-off, take it in turns to resolve these abilities. Swift Strike, you can always choose this model to fight first in the fight phase, even if it did not charge. If the enemy has units that have charge, or that have a similar ability, alternate choosing units to fight with, starting with a player whose turn is taking place. Okay, so whoever's turn it is goes first if you have the same ability. Foresight, once per battle, if this model is on the battlefield, you can re-roll hit rolls, wound rolls, damage roll, or a saving throw. So one per battle, once per battle. Okay. So Inspirational Leader, friendly sub-faction units can use this model's leadership instead of their own when we move 6. Rallying Cry, you can re-roll failed morale tests for this friendly sub-faction units while they're in 6. Icon of Retribution, roll a dice each time a friendly sub-faction model within 6 of this model is slain in the fight phase. On a 6, the unit that made the attack that slew the model suffers 1 more wound after he has finished making its attacks. Impetuous, you can re-roll failed charge rolls for this model. Terrifying, subtract 1 from the leadership characteristic of enemy units while they're in 3. Savage Repose, each time you roll an unmodified saving throw of 6 this model in the fight phase, the enemy unit that made the attack suffers 1 mortal wound after it has resolved its attacks. Airstrike, once per battle in your shooting phase, you could pick an enemy unit other than a character unit that is visible to the model and roll a d6 or a 1 to 4, nothing happens. On a 5-up, the target unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. Swift Advance, where this model advances, add 6 to its move characteristic for that movement phase instead of rolling a d6. Reactive Tactics, this model and friendly sub-faction units within 6 of them can charge even if they fall back this turn. Strike and Fade, after this model has fought in the fight phase, it can immediately pile in D3 plus 3 in any direction, not just towards the closest enemy model. That's handy. Final Strike, if this model is slain, you can select an enemy unit within 3 of it and roll a D6 on that 2-up that suffers D3 mortal wounds. Direct Fire, each time you make a wound roll of 6 shooting phase for a friendly sub-faction within 6 of this model, the AP characteristic of that attack is improved by 1. So for example, AP 1 becomes AP minus 2. Weapon improvements. So these are some weapon improvements, you can get them. If a weapon has more than one profile, the weapon improvement applies to each of that weapon's profiles. So pick one of this model's range attacks, so this is auto loader. Pick one of the model's range attacks, increase the number of shots with this weapon by 1. So example, pistol becomes 2 instead of 1. Penetrator rounds, pick one of the model's range weapons, improve that weapon's AP characteristic by 1. Example, AP minus 1 becomes AP minus 2, becomes AP minus 2. High caliber, pick one of the model's range weapons, add 1 to the weapon's strength characteristics. Improve sights, pick one of the model's range weapons, add 6 to that weapon's range characteristic. Inferno round, pick one of the model's range weapons, add the following ability to that weapon. Units do not receive the benefit of cover to their saving throws against attacks made by this weapon. Artificer armor, pick one of this model's weapons, add 1 to the weapon's damage characteristics. Finely balanced, pick one of the model's melee weapons, add the following ability to that weapon. Each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. Shredder, pick one of this model's melee weapons, add the following ability to that weapon. You can re-roll failed wound rolls for attacks made with this weapon. Brutal, pick one of the model's melee weapons, improve that weapon's strength characteristic by 1. Example, user becomes +1, +1 becomes +2. Razored Edge, pick one of the model's melee weapons, improve that weapon's AP characteristic by 1. AP minus 1 becomes AP minus 2. Heirloom, Pick one of the model's melee weapons, add the following ability to that weapon. Each modified hit roll of a 6 made for attacks with that weapon scores 2 hits instead of 1. Alright, Psychic Enhancements on a D3, first one. Psychic Might, add 1 to the number of psychic powers this character can attempt to manifest in your psychic phase. 2 is Adamantium Will, add 1 to the number of psychic powers this character can attempt to deny in your opponent's psychic phase. And 3, Master of the Law, add 1 to the number of psychic powers this model knows from the psychic disciplines available to them. Alright, so characteristic modifiers on a 2d6. So 2, Old War Wound. Select a result from the table or roll a 2d6 to randomly select a result. Reroll if you get this result again. Subtract or worsen this model's characteristic by the amount described in the result you picked instead of adding or improving it. Example, if the Ferocious Combatant result was selected, an attack's characteristic 3 would become 2, while if the Dead-Eyed result was selected, a ballistic skill of 3 would become 4. Alright, so 3 is Courageous, add 1 of the model's leadership. 4 is Ferocious Combatant, add 1 of the model's attacks. 5 is Mighting, add 1 to the model's strength characteristic. C, Deadeye, improve the model's ballistic skill characteristic by BS 3+, will become 2+, so just by 1. Fleet, add 2 to this model's move characteristic. Blademaster, improve this model's weapon skill characteristic by 1. Example, weapon skill 3 becomes 2 to a maximum of 2. Enhance Physiology, add 1 to this model's toughness characteristic. Toughened Armor, improve this model's save characteristic by 1. Example, save 5 becomes save 4, etc. to a maximum of 2. Divine Protection, improve this model's invulnerable save by 1, e.g. invulnerable save of 5 will become invulnerable save of 4, maximum of 3. If this model does not have the invulnerable save, it instead gains a 6+ invulnerable save. Cool. So you can basically just go through, give any unit like an invul. Heroic Constitution, add 1 to the model's wounds characteristics. Okay. So like, I mean, it would have been, again, once again, it would have been like really nice to see this in match play. But the thing is, I mean, I could kind of see why they didn't do it, because I can imagine like the points and the balancing that you would need to be able to do all that. But yeah, so look, here's an example of one of their characters, Captain Argentus, okay? Silver Skulls or something. Yep, Silver Skulls. Known. Yep, so cool. So now we start getting into the narrative play. Alright, so we start getting into the narrative play now. Okay, so we'll cover a little bit of this. Yeah, so super guys, so we've got this thing here, it's called Battle Honours. So many famous units exist in Warhammer 40,000, whether it's a Catch-Chen veteran known as Harker's Hellraisers, the many storied squads of the Ultramarine 2nd Company, or Boss Slipknot's Red Skull Commandos. Battle Honours can be used to represent such super relative groups in your games of Warhammer 40,000. Excuse me. Okay, so using Battle Honours. Battle Honours is an expansion for Warhammer 40,000 that allows players to represent experience and especially skilled units in their campaigns. Alright, so basically what it is, it's kind of like the kill team stuff from the looks of it. And you can carry over like experience and all that, like to different missions and things like that later. Alright, so you've got like different battle deeds here. So unit took part in the battle, you get 1 experience point. Unit was controlling an objective marker, you get 2 experience points, and it goes down. Okay, so on and on and on from there. Warrior Battle Honours, so Sharpshooters, rank 1 Warrior Battle Honour. When the deadly accurate fire is called for, this squad has proved itself more than 1. So reroll hit rolls of a 1 for this unit in the shooting phase. You've got Agile, you can reroll advance and charge rolls for this unit. Deadeye shots, each time you roll an unmodified wound roll of a 6 for an attack with one of the unit's range weapons, increase the damage characteristics by 1. Alright, and there's a few more here, but look, I might just skip over these because, again, this is narrative play, and so, yeah, but they are here. I'll try to get them in on a data sheet there for you on the video. You've got monster battle honors, you've got vehicle battle honors, alright? So then you've got your cities of death, okay? So you've got your cities of death missions, right? So specific warlord traits for those, different missions. So some of the warlord traits are cities of death warlords. City fight specialists, if your army is battle forged, you receive 3 additional command points. These can only be spent to use on the cities of death stratagem. So these rules don't carry over to normal games of 40k. They're native to the Cities of Death specialist games. So it just outlines that there. Alright, so it's pretty cool. We have some more rules here for Cities of Death which are gone over. So here we have obscured targets. In urban environments, troops can make use of the dense terrain as they advance into the position to obscure them from the enemy's sight. Alright, after you have chosen a unit to shoot with and you have chosen the target unit or units for the tactics, you must determine if any of the targets are obscured. Alright, as we know. Target unit is obscured if every model in it is obscured from the point of view of the firing model. An individual model is obscured unless all parts of it that are facing the firing model are visible from the point of view from the firing model. A vehicle or monster is instead obscured unless 50% or more of the model facing the firing model is visible from the point of view, right, of the firing model. So if unsure, stoop down and get a look from behind the shooting model to see if any part of it is obscured. For the purpose of determining whether or not a model is obscured, a model can see through other models in its own unit and other models in the target unit. Models of the flyer battlefield role are never obscured, even if it is less than 50% of the model, it is visible to the firing model. So essentially, if you can see over half of it, you can shoot at it, okay? Subtract 1 from the hit rolls for attacks with ranged weapons if the target is obscured. Alright, so that's basically it. You add or subtract 1 to the hit roll. So note that it is possible for a target unit to be obscured from the point of view of some models in a firing unit and not from others. In such cases, only the models to whom the target unit is obscured suffer the penalty for their hit rolls. Alright, and we have some examples here of like those situations. Again, I'll try to chuck them over in the thing, okay? So we've got stuff like lucky hits. A hit roll of a 6 always hits a target. Street roll rules, there's a few special rules here. Hard cover, soft cover, so they're basically just saying here that there's 2 sets of cover now. So hard cover is like buildings, and soft cover is basically just like, you know, stuff like statues and tank traps and that kind of stuff. Woods and all that kind of stuff, and there's different levels there of cover, which is cool. You got a few more stratagems here for this one, for the Cities of Death, which I'm not going to go through here. So maybe in another video. So battle zone infestation, camouflagation. Okay, then we've got missions. All right, so we've got the gauntlet, where you start off. Basically, you know, you've got different deployment roles. You've got total devastation. Okay, relief forces, grand assault. Okay, now I'm not going to go through every one of these. There are other videos on the net where you can go over these. Thunder Run, decapitation, very cool name. All right, match play. All right, so here we go. Here are the goodies. Welcome to the goodie room. All right, cool. So matched play. All right, so new battlefronts. So we've got a few new battlefronts here, new missions as well. I won't read them all out, but I'll read them all out, but I won't go through all of them explicitly. But there are a few new sort of general rules here for some of the factions, like say like Grey Knights and that as well. So matched play mission rules. The following rules apply to all match play games. So this is why it's extremely important. So I'm going to be reading this part. Battle Brothers. All of the units in each detachment in your Battleforged army must have at least one faction keyword in common. In addition, the keyword cannot be Chaos, Imperium, Eldari, Yannari, or Tyranids, unless the detachment in question is a fortification network. This has no effect on your army faction. Alright, so Most of this stuff was in the FAQ, I think, the big FAQ, the last big FAQ, but now it's sort of like formal here. Boots on the ground. When determining which player controls an objective marker, exclude all units that have the flyer battlefield role. These units can never control objective markers. So yeah, flyers don't count as scoring units anymore. They don't count on the table. So if you've got a unit like of, you know, one strategy is if you've got an army, you play against an army who are using a heck load of flyers, just literally like, you know, wipe everything else out. You could table them because the flyers don't count as objective secured. Alright, so limits of command. You cannot use the command reroll stratagem to affect mission dice rolls. Mission dice rolls include any dice rolls that are made before the battle begins, such as those that determine who chooses deployment zones, who gets the first turn, those that must be made at the end of the battle round, such as rolls determine if the battle ends, or any rolls that determine how many victory points are awarded to a player. Right, so for example, anything that affects the actual sort of game progress or the, you know, the actual game flow, the terms. Stuff like mechanics like Gilliman, you can re-roll, so you can re-roll him getting up. Stuff like Saint Celestine, you can still re-roll her getting up, so that's all perfectly fine. Just nothing that's like within the core mechanics of the actual sort of game turn system, okay, turn-based system. Psychic focus. Now this is a very important one, especially for Grey Knights and Thousand Suns. With the exception of Smite, each psychic power can be attempted only once per turn, rather than once per Psyker per turn. In addition, unless the Psyker attempting to manifest Smite has either the Brotherhood of the Psykers special rule, see Codex Grey Knights, or the Brotherhood of the Sorcerer's ability, see Codex 1000 Suns, you must add 1 to the warp charge value of Smite for each attempt, whether successful or not. Okay, that has been made to manifest Smite during a given psychic phase to a maximum warp charge value of 11. Alright, so you can never go past 11, right? So that's something, I guess. But what it's saying is, it's basically saying that every time you try power, even if it doesn't go off, with every character, you got to add 1 to the roll that, on which it would go off. So if you're smiting on a 5, you know, maybe that goes off, the next character does it on a 6. Maybe it doesn't go off, next character does it on a 7, etc. Alright, so, yeah. Now, so, that is with the exception of the Grey Knights, though, and the Thousand Suns, so they can just keep doing it. Alright, so cool. For example, if all players... yeah, okay. Strategic discipline. The same stratagem cannot be used by the same player more than once during any single phase. Now remember, that is not turn, that is not round, right? That is phase, okay? So, alright, so, or game, that's phase. So for example, you know, you can't re-roll a save in the movement phase or whatever, okay? This kind of thing again. That's what it says. It says phase. It doesn't say turn. Such as those used before the battle begins or the end of the battle round. Targeting characters. An enemy character with wounds characteristics of less than 10 can only be chosen as a target in the shooting phase if it is both visible to the firing model and it is closest enemy unit to the firing model. Ignore any other enemy characters with wounds characteristics of less than 10 when determining if the target is a closest enemy unit to the firing model, unless you're playing an intercessor, specialist detachment, where if you're within, I think it's what, you're within half range, your dudes can just attack characters with 1 command point. Check out the other video for that. That's epic. Alright, so... Understrength support. Understrength units can only be included in auxiliary support detachments. Okay, so Eternal War, Vital Intelligence. So objective markers, first turn, accepted casualties, victory conditions. It's all pretty much okay here. Few victory point changes here. Eternal War, narrow search. Okay, again, it's just victory point conditions. These are specific for the different mission, right? So each different mission, so Beachhead will have different victory conditions, you know, things like that, but they don't go for like just general normal rules. So yeah, I'm just gonna skim these ones. So that's something, you know, you can go have a look here. So alright. Then we got the appendix. So we've got battlefield terrain, Adeptus Sororitas, we've got Renegade Knights, the 8 battle-forged armies, updated points values, updated data sheets. So there are a few updated data sheets. Minaris and that World Claim of Duty, they're not actually in here. You'll find them in the Vigilus book. But there are updates to Intercessor sheets, Fiends, and also Horrors, Blood Crushers, Flesh Hounds as well. So a lot of the demon units. I believe there was a pretty massive demon box that came out just recently as well. So that's obviously why. Okay. So this page. Alright, so battlefield terrains. Craters. Alright, so now craters, infantry units that are entirely within a crater receive the benefit of cover. So they no longer have to be X amount within it or around it. Like, they have to be wholly within the crater. So they have to be standing in the crater. Models slowed when charging across craters. When a unit charges, one or more of its models move across the crater, you must subtract 2 from the unit's charge distance, right? So you're charging across a crater, subtract 2 from the distance. Barricades. When a model targets an enemy infantry unit in the target that has all of its models within one of a barricade, the target unit receives the benefit of cover if the shooting model is closer to the barricade than it is to the target, and the target is at least partially skewered from the point of view of the shooting model. In addition, enemy units can fight across a barricade, even though the physical distance is sometimes more than 1. When resolving fights between units on opposite sides of the barricade, units can be chosen to fight and can make their attacks if the enemy is within 2 of the normal 1. Right, so cool. Gallivantic servo haulers. So just basically all these special rules for this kill team terrain that they've been pumping out with these kill team kits. When a model targets an enemy infantry unit that has all of its models within 3 of the Gallivantic servo hauler, the target unit receives a benefit of cover for the shooting model is closer to the Gallivantic servo hauler than it is to the target, and the target is at least partially skewered from the point of view of the shooting model. Games Workshop. Learn to put in full stops in your sentences. Anyway. The woods, okay, so infantry units that are entirely in the base of a wood receive the benefit of cover. Okay, if your wound is not at a base, basically discuss it with your opponent. Other units only receive the benefit of cover if it's at least 50% obscured, so very similar to the other rule. Ruins. So, infantry only, beasts, swarms, other units that can fly can be set up at the end of the movement phase. Infantry are assumed to be able to scale walls and traverse through windows, doors, and portals readily. These models can therefore move through floors, walls, rules. So they can move up and down, basically. Okay. Infantry units that are entirely on or within a ruin receive the benefit of cover. Other units that are entirely on or within a ruin only receive a benefit of cover if 50% of every model is assured from the point of view of the shooting model. Minotaur armored containers. Okay, so no units receive cover if they're on top of a container. Infantry unit, if an infantry unit is on top of a Minotaur armored container that has 1 or more storm bolters, up to 2 models in the unit can each fire them each time the unit shoots instead of firing any one of its own weapons. Storm bolters are rapid fire 2 weapons with range 24, strength of 9, AP 1. Okay, so it's basically saying you could turn them into barricades, like fortified positions. Thermatic plasma conduits. Thermatic plasma conduits follow all the rules for barricades, but they also have a hazardous cover ability. See the Hemerothope reactor. The Hemerothope reactors. I did well on that one. Roll a d6 each time you make a saving throw of a 7, such as roll a 6 plus 1 for being cover for a model within 3 of any terrain features with this ability in the shooting phase. On a 1, that model suffers 1 mortal wound. Okay. So it's like radiation damage. You gotta, yeah. So you roll a 1, you take a mortal wound. It's basically like a disembarking kind of thing. Obstacles. There are 2 kinds of obstacles. Tank traps, which are obstacles to the vehicles and monsters, and tangle wire, which is an obstacle to everything else. Units are slowed when they attempt to move over obstacles. If, when a unit advances or charges, one or more of its models move over the obstacle, you must halve the unit's advance or charge distance as appropriate running up. Titanic units models are not slowed by obstacles, which is pretty obvious because they just walk over them. Okay, but yeah, cool. So that's how that works. Sector Mechanicus. All right, so that's an interesting one. So infantry can move through them. You could basically go through and just scale walls. They follow the rules of ruins. Imperial statutories. They say anyone within 3 of a statutory target unit receives a bit of a cover. Okay, yeah, pretty much. If any Imperium units add 1 to their leadership characteristic, also if they're within 3. Thematic plasma regulators. Thematic plasma regulators follow all the rules for Sector Mechanicus structures, but they also have the hazardous cover ability. See, yeah, okay. So they pop you on one. Deathworld forests. Okay. When a model targets an infantry unit that has all of its models within one of the Deathworld forest terrain piece, the target unit receives the benefit of cover if the shooting model is closer to the terrain piece than it is to the target, or the target is at least partially obscured from the point of view of the shooting model. In addition, subtract 1 from hit rolls to models that make close combat attacks within 3 of a Deathworld forest terrain piece. This represents limbs being entangled by sentient roots or minds being fogged by eldritch energies. Each of the 4 Deathworld forest terrain pieces has an additional ability as described opposite. Okay, so look, I'm not going to go for every single one of these. But yeah, check that out, and there should be in the rule box as well. Okay, so all right, Sisters Beta Codex. That's for another video. All right, that's getting its own video. I may even do that tomorrow because I'm gonna get Celestine. Right, so cool. We got Renegade Nights. All right, so no new units, but just data sheets on the actual existing knights. So I will go through those, and there are point values in here for those. So Renegade Knights. So we got Renegade Knights. So ballistic skill. This is just flush with no damage. So movement 12, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3. It's got 24 wounds. Strength is 8, toughness 8, wounds 24, attacks 4, leadership 9, save +3. If it goes down to 12 wounds, you're basically movement 9, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4. Down to 6, you're movement 6, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5. So yeah, it's just still got a bit of shit there. A Renegade Knight is a single model equipped with a Reaper Chainsword, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, Heavy Stubber, and Titanic Feet. Okay, you can basically go through and take all the same kind of weapons you can as a Astartes Knight. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these because you can just basically check the codices for that in Imperial Knights. I'm just looking for additions. Nah, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, Reaper Chainsword, it's all the same. This model may take Twin Icarus Autocannon, Storm Sea Rocket Pod, or Iron Storm Missile Pods. This unit may replace Thunderstrike Gauntlet with Avenger Gatling Cannon, Heavy Flamer, Rapid Fire, Battle Cannon, it's all the same. Okay, all the same. Yep, cool. Okay, it's got a 5-up invul against ranged weapons. Explodes on a D6, 2d6 mortal wounds. Engine of Destruction. Now this looks different. If this model has a Reaper Chainsword and a Thunderstrike Gauntlet, its attacks characteristic is changed to 5 and its weapon skill is improved by 1. Alright, so that means its weapon skill, like providing it's not bracketed, its weapon skill is 2 and its attacks are 5, which is pretty brutal. Super Heavy Walker, it's the same rule, can fall back and move the same turn. Pretty cool. Alright, so Renegade Knight Dominus. So again, now the brackets are a bit so this is 28 wounds, toughness 8, strength 8, 4 attacks, leadership 9, saves 3 up. When you're down to, yeah, so you move at 10, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 3. So weapon skill 4, just keep that in mind. So I think it was, weapon skill for the Renegade Knight was 3, not 4. So I believe this is kind of like your Castellan equivalent. A Renegade Knight Dominus is a single model equipped with a Plasma Decimator, Volcano Lance, 2 Shield Breaker Missiles, 2 Twin Melter Guns, 2 Siege Breaker Cannons, Titanic Feet. So Conflagration Cannons the same. Plasma Decimator. When attacking this weapon, choose one of the following profiles. Heavy 2D. It's the same as the macro cannon thingy on the Castellan, but it says for each hit roll of a 1, the bearer suffers. Yeah, okay, it's the same thing. It's supercharging plasma. You suffer a mortal wound. All the same. All the same. All the same. All the same. War gear, it's all the same. Got the 5+ invul. It's got a dual core explosion, so you roll 3d6 instead of 2. Super heavy walker. So it's basically a baddie Castellan. Okay, nothing new to see here. The Armiger, Chaos Armiger, looks pretty much exactly the same as a Loyalist Armiger, except it's got, well, it's still got the 5+ invul. It's got Vehicle Squadron. The first time this unit is set up, all of its models must be placed within 6 of each other. From the point onwards, each operates independently, is treated as a separate unit. Yep, so Thermal Spear looks again like all the same. Okay, so yeah, it's a Strength 6, Toughness 7, 12 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 8, 3+ save. Movement's 14, so it's fast. Weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3. With bracket, you go down to movement 10, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, 1 to 3, 7 movement, weapon skill 5, 5 ballistic skill. Okay, got the points values here. I'll read these out really quick because I don't think Adamantium Wang covered these. So Reaper Chain Cleaver is free, 0. Reaper Chain Sword is 30. Thunderstrike Gauntlet 35. Titanic Feet is 0. Range weapons, Armiger Auto Cannons 5, Avenger Gatling Cannons 75. It's very similar, it's nearly the same to the Imperium ones. Conflagration Cannons 0, Heavy Flamer 14, Heavy Stubber is 2, Iron Star Missile Pod is 16, Melter Gun 14, Plasma Decimator 0, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon 100, Shield Breaker Missile 12, Storm Sea Rocket Pod 45, Thermal Cannon 76. Thermal Spear is 0, Thundercore Harpoon is 0, Twin Icarus Autocannon is 20, Twin Melter Gun is 0, Twin Siege Breaker Cannon is 35, Volcano Lance is 10. For the units, okay, Renegade Armiger, 1 to 3 units, does not include War Gear 160, Renegade Knight 25, Renegade Knight Dominus is 500. Where are my codices? Because that sounds cheaper. Let's have a look here. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to do some fact checking here. So, just got the Imperial Knights Codex, guys. So, well, let's just say there's a Castellan. Ah! Okay. So here it says the Knights Castellan's 510 base. And its equivalent, the Knight Dominus, is 500, so it's like 10 points cheaper. Unless that's been FAQ'd, it might be. But there's some interesting points changes there. I don't think anyone else picked up on that one. Now we've got Knight's Errant is 285, same as the Renegade Knight. The Armiger's 160, which is the same as the Armiger here. But interesting enough that the Renegade equivalent of the Castellan is actually 10 points cheaper than the Loyalist version. Okay, that's what it says. Unless it's the equivalent of the Valiant, but because that's 500, but no, because the Valiant's only got like 24 wounds, it's got like 28 wounds. So yeah, very interesting. You play Renegade Knights, you get them just a little bit cheaper. Just fix this battery up just really quickly while I'm waiting. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's that. That's the Renegade Knights section. We got some detachment rules, so these will be pretty important. Abilities, Questoris Traitoris. Detachments, including super heavy auxiliary detachments, gain the following ability. Renegade Knight Lance, okay. If your army is battleforged, select one model in each Questoris Traitoris heavy, super heavy detachment in your Army, each model you selected gains a character keyword. However, the command benefit for each Questor Traitoris super heavy detachment is changed to none. Right, so, and if it does not contain at least one Questor Traitoris Titanic unit, then it's changed to +6 command points if it contains at least 3 Questor Traitoris Titanic units. So it's basically just the same as that new the new formation, the Supreme Lord of War, or whatever, for the Loyalist Knights. Okay, Warlord trait. If a Questor Traitoris Titanic character is a Warlord, you can choose to give them the following Warlord trait: Infernal Quest. If your Warlord is within range of an objective marker as specified within the mission, it controls that objective marker, even if there are more enemy models within range of the same objective marker. If an enemy unit within range of the same objective marker has a similar ability, then the objective marker is controlled by the player who has the most models within range as normal. In this case, however, your Warlord counts as 10 models. Cool. Relic. If your army is led by a Questor Traitoris Warlord, then you may give the relic to a Questor Traitoris character in your army. The trait is marks, so enemy units must subtract 1 from the leadership characteristic whilst they are within 12 of the bearer. Whilst they are in 6 of the bearer, subtract 2 from the leadership characteristics. So, nah. Stratagems. Alright. We got rotate iron shields, which is the same. And then we got, it's for 1 command point, and then for the medium dudes, and then for the big Dominus, or whatever it is, the Castellan equivalent, you've got 3 command points. Trail of Destruction. Use a stratagem when you choose a Questor Traitoris unit from your army to make attacks within the shooting fight phase. Until the end of the phase, you can reroll all far hit rolls for the unit. Very handy. 2 command points. Rerolling on that plasma gun. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. Alright, so now we've got the 8. Right, so we've got the 8 coming up now. Alright, which is pretty cool. Alright everybody, super cool. So, the 8. So, the 8 are the greatest champions of the Farsight Enclaves, led by none other than Commander Farsight himself. This section details who these legendary warriors are and provides you rules for using them in 40k. Alright, so they're basically just like a group of commanders that run around with this Farsight guy. Look, it's all good. I know there are a lot of Tower players who are excited to use these guys. Alright, I really don't care, to be honest. Tower, just, you know, their Tower, like, you know, they're good, you know, but I don't know, they're a bit of a doggy side, you know. You know, aesthetically, they're good on the tabletop. Aesthetically, I'm not too big on them. But whatever. So there's Commander Farsight, there's Commander Bravestorm, Commander Brightsword, Chassal Taurus, Broadside Shazvray, Obleta 9-0, Shaza Acheron, Sub-Commander Torchstar, Ovessa. Alright, it's like a big sort of like crisis suit thing. Okay, so yeah, and essentially what it is 8 dudes. I believe they're like 1,200 points or something to field, all 8 of them. Let me have a look. The 8, yeah, 1,120, which includes 8 characters and 14 drones. I don't know how much play that's going to be seeing, guys, in tournament lists and stuff. But it's good that they're here. We finally have them and they can be used, okay? So let's have a look at some of these match play rules. So match play rules, Commander Farsight, if you include the 8 in your army, then you cannot also include Commander Farsight datasheet from the Codex. Furthermore, you include the 8 in your army, Commander Farsight must be your army's warlord, and he has the following warlord traits. So what that's saying is basically you can't have 2 Farsights on there because there's 2 data sheets. Very clever, because you can see how that would have been misused. So here you'll have Hero of the Enclaves. Your warlord can perform a heroic intervention if they are within 6 of enemy units after the enemy has completed all their charge moves. Your warlord can move up to 6 when performing a heroic intervention. so long as they end the move closer to the nearest enemy model. In addition, if your Warlord was charged or performed a heroic invention, until the end of the turn you can re-roll failed hit rolls for them. That's pretty cool. Points values, if you're playing a match play, so yeah, 1,120. Abilities, the following abilities apply to several of the 8. Master of War. Once per battle at the beginning of your turn, a single commander from your army can declare either Kayun or Monskar. Kayon, until the end of the turn, you can reroll failed hit rolls of friendly Farsight Enclaves units within 6 of the commander, but these units cannot move for any reason. Monkar, friendly Farsight Enclave units within 6 of the commander can both advance and shoot as if they hadn't moved this turn. Unless otherwise stated, you can only use the Master of War ability once per battle, irrespective of how many models in your army have this ability. Sept Tenant, if your army is Battleforged, all models in the 8th detachment gain the following Sept Tent. Devastating Counterstrike, reroll wound rolls of 1 for models with this tenant for shooting attacks against enemy units within 6 of the firing model. Enclave Drone Support, when a character from the 8 is set up on the battlefield, any accompanying drones set up in the unit coherency with it. From the point onwards, the drones are treated as a separate unit with the HQ battlefield role and are considered to have a power rating of 0. Savior Protocols. If a Farsight Enclaves Infantry or Farsight Enclaves Battlesuit unit within 3 of a friendly Farsight Enclaves drone unit is wounded by an enemy attack, roll a d6 on a 2-up. You can allocate the wound to the drone's unit instead of the target. If you do that, drone suffers 1 mortal wound instead of the normal damage. Okay, very cool. We've got the weapons here, so I'll probably just have them in the video. I don't think I'm going to go through all of these. So a lot of these are all in the normal Tower Codex anyway. Support systems, again, it's the same kind of stuff. Marker lights, same stuff, just standard marker light stuff from what I know. Alright, again, I'm not a Tower player, so, you know, I may be wrong, but, you know, either way, I'm sure you can get a hold of the weapons somewhere on the internet. Cool. So, power level 56, 1,120 points, the 8th. All of them start off with their own sort of wounds, but they do bracket. So some of the units bracket. The ones here that have the asterisk bracket, which is Ovessa, and he's the huge dude. He looks like that big huge mechy dude. And so he just follows the same rules as that big sort of like I can't remember the name of it now. Cold Star, I think it's called, or something. Anyway, so yeah, so movement 12, ballistic skill 4, attacks 4. When he's on 14 wounds, and when he's on 6 wounds, his movement goes down to 8. Ballistic skill 5, attacks 3. When he's down to 3, his movement skill goes down to 4. Ballistic skill 5, attacks 2. Right, and that's Ovessa. So he has weapon skill of 6, strength 6, toughness 7, 14 wounds, leadership 8, 2-up save. So most of these guys here, a lot of these guys here have 2-ups, some of them are 3-up, some of them are 4-up. I will go through, I'll just read all these out. So Farsight, Commander Farsight. So movement 8, weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, 9 leadership, 3-up save. Commander Bright Sword, okay, movement 8, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 5, attacks 4, leadership 9, and saves a +3. Commander Brave Storm, movement 8, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 2, 5 across the board for strength, toughness, and wounds. Attacks 4, leadership is 9, strength, save is a 3-up. Shasso Vasatos is movement 8, weapon skill is 3-up, ballistic skill is 2, 5 across the board for stats, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 3-up save. Shasso Akoron, movement 8, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 2, 5 on the strength, 5 on the toughness, 6 wounds. Attacks 4, leadership 9, 3-up save. Sub-commander Torch Star. Okay, movement 8, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 2, 5/5/5, strength, toughness, wounds of 5. Attacks 4, leadership 9, and save is 3-up. Broadside, Array, Ablator 9/0. Okay, movement 5, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, 5/5, so strength 5, toughness 5, wounds are 6, attacks are 3, leadership is 8, and the save is 2. Ovessa, read him, or her, whichever. MV1 gun drones, okay, movement 8, 5/5 on the weapons and ballistic skills, 3 strength, 4 toughness, 1 wound, 1 attack, and 6 leadership, 4-up save. Okay, so all these units are all the same, these next ones, except for their... Yeah, they're all the same actually until you get to the so the MV1, the MV4, the MV7 drones, MV8 missile drones, they're all the same stats. Except for MV84 shield missile drone, which is a movement 12, ballistic skill 5, weapon skill 5, strength 4, toughness 4, wound 1 wound, and 1 leadership. Sorry, 6 leadership, 1 attack, and 4-up save. Okay, so that's the only difference here. So, okay, here we go. Some special rules. Only one of this unit can be included in your army. The unit contains the following 8 characters and their accompanying drones. Commander Farsight equipped with a high-intensity plasma rifle, the Dawn Blade, and a shield generator. Commander Brightsword equipped with fusion blades, the target lock, and counterfeit defense systems. Sorry, counterfire defense systems. Brightsword is accompanied by 2 MV4 shield drones. Commander Brave Storm, equipped with a plasma rifle, flamer, Oranga Gauntlet, shield generator, and advanced targeting system. Brave Storm is also equipped with XV802 Iridium armor. His profile already takes this into account. Brave Storm is accompanied by 2 MV1 gun drones, each of which is equipped with 2 pulse carbines. The Shazo Savatoris, equipped with a plasma rifle, flamer, shield generator, and drone controller. Shavastus is accompanied by 2 MV1 gun drones, each of which is equipped with 2 pulse carbines. Shazaro Akorn, equipped with... Sorry guys. Acheron is accompanied by 2 MV1 gun drones, each of which is equipped with 2 pulse carbines. You think it's tough sitting through these videos for an hour and a half? You try reading them and narrating them for an hour and a half. So there you go. But a lot of you probably do. I know a lot of you got your own channels and stuff. So anyway, Sub-Commander Torstar, equipped with 2 flamers, an advanced targeting system, and a drone controller. Torstar is accompanied by MV1 marker drones, each of which is equipped with a marker light. Broadside Chassé Obliterator 9/0, equipped with 2 high-yield missile pods, 2 smart missile systems, a seeker missile velocity tracker. Obleto 9/0 is accompanied by 2 MV8 missile drones, each of which is equipped with a single missile pod. Ovessa is equipped with an ion accelerator, 2 fusion blasters, a target lock, and an early warning override. Ovessa is accompanied by 2 MV84 shielded missile drones, each of which is equipped with a missile pod. Alright. Their abilities for the greater good. When an enemy unit declares a charge unit with this ability, there's in 6 of one of the charging units targeted with fire overwatch as if it was a target. A unit that does so cannot fire it. Okay, so it's just that greater good. It's that overwatch rule where if someone's in there, they're basically within 6 of another one of the units, but they can also fire overwatch like in there. Okay, but like they can't fire it again. It's the same. It's the good old Tau rule. I hate that rule. I freaking hate it. The 8. During deployment, all models in this unit are deployed at the same time, but they do not need to be placed in unit coherency. See the Enclave drone support ability, page 114, for details on how to place the models accompanying drones. Very interesting. Okay, they don't have to be like within one of each other. Each character is treated as a separate. Oh, sorry, 2 of each other. Each character is treated as a separate unit, and each is considered to have a power rating of 7, with the exception of Ovessa. If a character in this unit can fly, it and any of its power rating 7 Any of its accompanying drones can be set up by a man to hold instead of being placed in the battlefield. At the end of your movement phase, any character that does so can use a man to strike to enter the fray. Set them up in their accompanying drones anywhere in the battlefield more than 9. Okay, so they can come down in a Manta as well. Super sweet. Okay. Now here we go. All these guys have like their own little jippy abilities, right? So I will sort of go through these. So abilities: the Farsight. He's got the Genius of Montar. Once per battle, Commander Farsight can declare Montcar, even if Kayon or Montcar has already been declared. Montcar and Kayon cannot both be declared in the same turn. Way of the Short Blade. You can re-roll hit rolls of a 1. Re-roll hit rolls of a 1. For friendly Farsight Enclaves within 6 of the Commander Farsight in this fight phase for any phase of target Orc unit. So he's an Orc smashing specialist. Master of War. Did I already go through these? I think some of them I did. But this is sort of like expanded, so I better go through them. Master of War, Warscaper drones. Yeah, okay. So Master of War, it says page 144, so that was back here. Sorry, 114, so that's back here. So I've already gone through them. So I'm just going to read through the ones I haven't gone through already. Warscaper drones. If a charge is declared for an enemy unit whilst using 12 of either a Bright Sword, MV4, shield drones, subtract 2 from the roll. So subtract 2 from the hit rolls. Advanced Support Cocoon for Bravestorm. Roll a d6 each time Bravestorm loses a wound. On a 6, that wound is not lost. It's pretty cool. It's like Feel No Pain for a tower. Shavastos, Peritide Engram Neurochip. Once per battle, you can re-roll a single hit roll, wound roll, damage roll made for this Shavasto or a friendly Farsight Enclaves unit within 6 of Shavastos. In addition, if your army is battle forged and Shavastos is on the battlefield, roll a d6 each time you or your opponent use a stratagem. On a 6, you gain command points. Cool. Abilities: Acheron as the Master of War, page 114. Repulsor Impact Field. On a d6 each time an enemy unit ends a charge move within 1 of Acheron. On a 2-up, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Ooh. Abilities: Torch Star, Master of War. Neuroweb's System Jammer. Enemy units that are set up on the battlefield as reinforcements cannot be set up within 12 of Torch Star. In addition, subtract 1 from the hit rolls of ranged weapons that target Torch Star. Alright, so a bit of aerial denial. Okay, that's very interesting. So deep striking units in that. Alright, so a bit of... Okay, so next you got that Oblotorel 9 out of 0 or whatever. So 7 of 9 friggin' for the tower. Reduce all damage inflicted by Obatai 9-0 by 1 to a minimum of 1. Enhanced Scan Feeds. This model does not suffer the penalty to its hit rolls for moving and firing heavy weapons. Riptide Shield Generator. This is for Ovessa. Ovessa has a 5-up invul. Earthcast Pilot Array. Reroll hit rolls of a 1 for attacks made by Ovessa's ranged weapons. In addition, roll a d6 each time Ovessa uses his Nova Reactor ability. On a 4-up, he does not suffer any mortal wounds. That's pretty cool. Nova Reactor. In your movement phase, you could choose to use Ovessa's Nova Reactor. If you do, Ovessa suffers 1 mortal wound. Choose one of the following effects at least until the beginning of your next turn. Nova Shield, he gets a 3-up invult. That's nasty. I experienced that. Whoa. Okay. Boost. Ovessa can move 2d6. Nova Charge. He gets Accelerate. He gets to Iron Accelerate, and both standard to Overcharge to Heavy 6. Okay, so he gets, yeah, Heavy 6 instead of what he usually had, which was whatever. Okay, drones. So, Savior Protocol, same as 114. Shield Generator, MV4 Shield Drones and MV84 Shield Missile Drones have 4+ invul save. In addition, roll a d6 each time MV4 Shield Drone or MV84 Shield Missile Drone loses a wound. On a 5-up, it does not lose a wound. Whole bunch of faction keywords there. Okay, I'm not going to read through those. Cool, and that's that. So then we've got the Battleforged armies. This is for detachment rosters. Alright, just basically like how to write your roster sheet with characters. It's nothing super special there. Okay. And there's like a sample roster sheet in here. Alright, now we're up to the points changes. Alright, I might just go straight to the back quickly, get these extra data sheets covered, because that's the end of the book, and then I'll have a look at the points changes. Because again, guys, I've already gone through most of these like 100 times. Check the links below to like all the other videos, okay? And you can pretty much find these like all over the net now. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of going through each and every single point change, like I might go through the Forgeworld stuff, but when it comes to like the factions, I'm just going to give like an overview of what I think and like, you know, about like how that army is going to be changed within the meta, if it's going to change, if they're going to get more competitive or not. And if you want to check out more points, check out the links below. I'll put some links in there. Okay? So, awesome. So yeah, stuff like, you know, Space Wolves and that, I'll cover. Dark Angels, I'll cover. You know, Necrons have been done to death, even on my channel. So the Forgeworld ones I haven't done yet though. Alright, so let's just have a look at these data sheets. So the first one we have Intercessors. Now this is pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is you got now, they have the ability to take chainsaws and power fists. Chainsaws they had with the, what do you call it, tooth and claw box, but the power fists are new. So with the power fists come in at ×2 strength, so they'll be strength 8, minus AP 3, D3 damage. When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls. Alright, and the rest is kind of just all the same stuff, alright, for Intercessors. Yeah. Now they did go down some points, but that will be coming in. Okay, so Fiends, I'm not actually sure on these guys, so I'm not actually 100% sure on these guys' rules. So, yep, Fiends, power level is 2, movement 14, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill is dash because they can't shoot, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 4, attacks 4, leadership 7, 6-up save. The Blissbringer is the same, exactly the same. Yep. Each unit contains 1 fiend. It can include up to 8 additional fiends. This unit contains at least 3 models. 1 fiend can be upgraded to a Blissbringer. Each model attacks with Dissecting Claws and Vicious Barbed Tail. Alright, Dissecting Claws, range melee, type melee, strength is user, AP -1, 2 damage each. Abilities, each time you make a wound roll of a 6-up for this weapon, that hit roll is resolved with AP -4 instead of 1. Ooh, that's meaty. Vicious Barbed Tail, so melees, strength is user, so strength 4 minus AP 3, D3 damage. A model can only make a single attack with this weapon each time it fights. So abilities: Demonic Quicksilver, Swiftness, Demonic Rituals, Sea Codex Demons, Disruptive. It's just the same. So Disruptive Song of Psychers. Within 12 of the enemy models, this ability must subtract 1 of the result of the psychic tests. Okay, that's a bit of a psychic hood there. It's pretty crazy. Soporific Musk. Units within 1 of the enemy models of this ability cannot fall back unless they can fly. Ooh, that's going to put the thorn in a lot of people's sides. Alright, so we've got Horrors. Updated rules for Horrors. Pink Horror. Movement 6, Ballistic Skill 4, Weapon Skill 4, Strength 3, Toughness 3, Wounds 1, Attacks 1, Leadership 7, 6-up save. The other Horror, the Blue Horror, is exactly the same, with the difference is it doesn't have a Ballistic Skill. Alright, it's only got a Weapon Skill, but that Weapon Skill is 5. It hits on a 5-up. Alright, so it's kind of like a lesser Horror. Pair of Brimstone Horrors. This is Movement 6, Weapon Skill 5. These are troop choices, by the way. Ballistic Skill is Dash. Strength is 1. Toughness 3. Wounds 1. Attacks 2. Leadership 7. And 6-up save. This unit contains 10 pink, blue, or pairs of Brimstone Horrors. In any combination, it can include up to 10 additional Horrors, power rating 4-up, or up to 20 additional Horrors, power rating 8. Pink Horrors stack with coruscating flames, while Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors simply scrabble at anyone who comes close. So as coruscating flames is 18 range, assault 2, strength is user, AP 0, 1 damage. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 pink horror may take Instrument of Chaos. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 pink horror may take the iconic demon. Sorry, the demonic icon. Demonic rituals, see the Chaos Codex, the demonic Chaos Codex. Demonic icon. If you roll a 1 when taking a morale test for a unit with any demonic icons, reality blinks and the demonic horde is bolstered. No models flee, and the D6 slain pink horrors are instead added to the unit. Okay, so you get more horrors back. Split. Each time a pink horror is slain, you can add up to 2 blue horrors to this unit before you remove the same model. Each time a blue horror is slain, you can add 1 pair of brimstone horrors to this unit before the unit is before you remove the same model. The replacement model cannot be placed within one of an enemy model. Note that horrors that flee do not generate any extra models for the unit. Okay. Match play. In match play, you must pay reinforcement points for each and every blue and brimstone horror model that you add to a unit of horrors, but the additional models can take the unit above its starting strength. Instrument of Chaos. A unit that includes any Instruments of Chaos as one to advance rolls and charges. In Descent Horror, or in Descent Horror, when you set up this unit for the first time, you may select a single pink horror in the unit. That model has an attack characteristics of 2 instead of 1. Magic made manifest. A unit with horrors can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. However, when you do so, only roll a single d6 for psychic tests or deny the witch test and use the result to determine the outcome. Note that this means the horrors cannot roll a double 1 or 6 to suffer perils of the warp. In addition, if the unit manifests a smite psychic power whilst it contains less than 10 pink horrors, it only inflicts 1 mortal wound rather than d3. Etherical demons, pink horrors have an invulnerable save of 4 up, blue horrors have an invulnerable save of 5 up, pairs of brimstone horrors have an invulnerable save of 6 up. Magical horde, change the type of this unit's corresponding flames or salt 3, whilst the unit contains 20 or more pink horrors. Alright, cool. Psycho, this unit can attempt to smite power as a Psycho. Okay, cool. Blood Crushers. So, they're the same stats. Blood Crusher, Blood Hunter are exactly the same. Movement 8, Weapon Skill 3, Ballistic Skill 3, Strength 5, Toughness 4, Wounds 4, Attacks 3, Leadership 7, Save 4 up. Okay, there's only one difference. The Blood Hunter has an additional attack. He has 4 attacks instead of 3. This unit contains 1 Blood Hunter and 2 Blood Crushers. It can include up to 3 additional Blood Crushers, power rating 7, up to 7 additional Blood Crushers, power rating 14, or up to 9 additional Blood Crushers, power rating 21. Each model is armed with a Hellblade and rides a snorting Juggernaut that attacks with its bladed horn. Hellblade, melee, user, strength, AP -3, 1 damage. Any attacks with a wound roll of 6 up for this weapon have a damage characteristic of 2 instead of a 1. Juggernaut, okay, so this is the dog thing, the Gozer dude. Strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage. After a model riding a Juggernaut makes its close combat attacks, you can attack with this mount, make 3 additional attacks using the weapon profile. Okay, 1 Blood Crusher may take an Instrument of Chaos, 1 Blood Crusher may take a Demonic Icon. Abilities, Demonic, Unstoppable Ferocity, Demonic Ritual, Demonic Icon. If you roll a 1 when making a round test for a unit, is it the same as that other one? Yes, it is. I'm not going to read it then. Devastating Charge, add 2 strength of the Juggernaut's bladed horn attack if the unit charges. Instrument of Chaos, a unit that includes any Instrument of Chaos adds 1 to the advance and charge rolls. Alright, cool. So Flesh Hounds, that's a fast attack. Blood Crushers an elite. Horrors is a troop. Intercessors are obviously a troop, okay. Fiends are elite. Now this Slaanesh, this looks like corn, by the way. So the Fiends are Slaanesh. Sorry, I didn't cover that. Flesh Hounds, okay. You've got Flesh Hound, Gorehound. The difference is nothing except for the Gorehound has a 6+ ballistic skill. And the Flesh Hound has dash, in other words, has nothing. So it's movement 10, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 6 in the case of the Gorehound, nothing in case of the Flesh Hound. Strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 2, okay, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 6 up save. The unit contains 5 Flesh Hounds. You include up to 5 additional Flesh Hounds, power rating +4, up to 10 additional Flesh Hounds, power rating +8, up to 15 additional Flesh Hounds, power rating +12. Each model attacks with gore-drenched fangs. Burning Roar, range 8, assault 1, strength 4, 0, 1 damage, weapon automatic hits target. Gore Drench Fangs, melee user, strength minus AP 1, 1 damage. War gear options. For every 5 models in this unit, 1 Flesh Hound can be upgraded to a Gore Hound. Each Gore Hound attacks with a Burning Roar in addition to its Gore Hound Fangs, so extra damage. Abilities: Demonic, Unstoppable, Ferocity, Demonic Ritual, C, Chaos Demons Codex. Collar of Corn, this unit can attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy. Okay, so my synopsis on these demons is that they're really good. You've got a lot of cheap attacks here, a lot of cheap damage, very fast units, and the fact that they can do a lot of area denial with their psychic powers as well is pretty powerful. Okay, pretty powerful. So just going to read here just quickly, just talking about some of the overviews of the units here within the data sheets. There's some blurbs here. I will go through these. So it says with Intercessors, since Codex Space Marines released, new upgrade packs have been released for Intercessors, alongside Codex Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, etc. The relevant options for these upgrade packs can be found within the data sheets for each respective Codex, and all are represented in the Codex Death Watch. However, since we have released a further upgrade pack, the upgraded data sheet for the Intercessor allows Intercessor Sergeants to equip not only with options realised in this new upgrade pack, which is the Power Fists and that, but also for previously released upgrade packs, irrespective of their chapter. It therefore replaces the Intercessor Squad data sheet, yada yada yada, in all the other codexes. Cool. Page 73, Intercessor Wargear options, change the third bullet point to read: the Intercessor Sergeant may either replace their bolt rifle with a chain sword, power sword, or power fist, page 91, or take a chainsaw, power sword, power fist in addition to their other weapons. So what that means is, it's really cool. It means you give the guy a freaking bolt gun, a bolt rifle, and a power fist. Pretty cool. Fiends and Flesh Hounds. Since Codex Chaos Demons released, new models have become available for Fiends and Flesh Hounds. The data sheets included here reflect these models and take into account the new options both gain for unit champions. These data sheets replace Fiends of Slaanesh and Fiends and Flesh Hounds data sheets respectively from the Chaos Demons Codex. Horus have a super wonderful, everybody. Sorry about that. The camera was just telling me that the battery was running out, so I just needed to change it. It's gone for 3 of them so far. All good. So I'm just going to finish that readout. So I'm not sure how much of that got. So Horus have been appeared in 3 different codices, and their data sheet has changed each time following feedback from the community, leading to some confusion about which is the correct data sheet. The Horus data sheet published here replaces the data sheet found in the Codex Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, sorry, and Codex Thousand Suns. Blood Crushers. Since the Codex Chaos Demons release, we have received lots of feedback about Blood Crushers and have decided to improve their profile. The data sheet included has here reflects this and replaces the one in the Codex Demons. Alright, cool. So guys, it's a pretty comprehensive list. I'm trying to get through as much of it as I can. I mean, the only thing we've really sort of skipped here is the, I mean, you know, I guess the Sisters of Battle Codex, but that's kind of like its own thing. Right? So, I mean, I don't even know if I need to do that now, because, you know, there are heaps of other channels that have done that, and it's kind of just like, you know, I'm kind of just like, well, I'm doing this because there's a lot of stuff that I feel that other channels have missed, and I'm basically just doing this one to fill the gaps. You know, like a lot of other channels have just gone straight for the points, and then they've barely touched on the 8. They've barely like even gone to the back of the demons at the back of the book. So you know, okay, cool. So now let's take a look at some of the points. Here we go. This is the interesting part. All right. So overall. Again, I will put the links down below to my other videos with all the points in it. I'm not going to go read through every single one that I've already read through before, okay? So, cool. So, Adeptus Custodes, there were only downs for Custodes. Few points there, most notably Trajan Valorous going down. I think he went down by like 85 points or something. Again, check my videos out, guys. I've got like whole breakdowns on this. Custodes War Gear, again, not going to cover that. Mechanicus Units is covered in another video. Astra Militarum I've covered in another video, link down below. Astra Militarum War Gear, link down below. Now I will just talk a little bit about the effect of these points reductions. So this is like my Steve's Approved 2018. It's like the video that adds on to like the other videos with points changes, okay? You can actually download Adamantium Wang's lists as well. Check my video for a link to his Imager account, and it'll basically show down there all these lists and breakdowns and stuff like that. You could grab them. Okay, so essentially Custodes are good. They needed a bit of a drop. I know a lot of people were saying that like, oh, they're too powerful. They're too powerful. I don't agree. I think that they need a tiny little bit of drop. I would have dropped them even a little bit more than that. Alaris Custodes went down to 65. It was rumoured to be 60. Shield Captains, I think, went down a little bit as well. The Storm Shield also helps that as well, being a Storm Shield character now for 10 points. Bikes did not go down at all, which I said that they wouldn't. I just like to plug that again there, because everyone was basically saying that they were going to go up, and it's just like thing. Once again, most of my predictions that I made in the other videos were precisely correct. Trajan went down like heaps, like 75 points or something. I reckon he's probably like an auto include now. He's an awesome way of getting command points as well. The War Gear, so yeah, look, I'm not going to read them. It's just standard stuff. Adeptus Mechanicus went down by like a fair few percent, maybe 18% or so. Lots of downs for them. Check the links down below. Astra Militarum units, okay. So Astra Militarum units, at very first when I saw these drops, they went down heaps, by the way. It's like 25%, 20 to 25% drops. And I first thought, oh my god, like what's going on here? What are you doing, like, you know, nerfing, not nerfing, like reducing the points of these units are already awesome. Astra Militarum are already epic sight. Well, here's the thing. Number one, they've got to keep up with everybody else that got points drops. And number two, basically, like, what it allows Astra Militarum to do now with the units that have gone down, Astra Militarum have kind of been this little bastard, like, you know, force that have gone through and they've just been, like, shoehorned into other armies to command point farm. So with this, it's basically like now, it's giving Astra Militarum a chance to become their kind of own army again. So like units like Chimeras that weren't so viable before are now a mad choice because the points have gone down like so much, right? So it's basically, it's like that. So cool. That's really all I've got to say about that. Except Sly Marvo's in here, which is pretty cool. He's 55 points. It's the first time we've had a data sheet for him. The War Gear, again, I've covered it in another section. Blood Angels units, so pretty much covered in another video, because it's all just the standard Space Marine stuff, except for... Okay, so Def Company, Dreadnought is to 80, Furioso's down to 70, Intercessor squads are down to 17, like, but that's like, you know, pro bono, that's like down like everywhere. Land Raiders, same points drops for them, we all know about, 200, 180 for the Redeemer. Okay, lands, this is all like stock stand. Librarian Dreadnoughts now 110. Sanguinary Ancient is down to 64. Looks like Sanguinary Guards stay the same because I can't actually see them listed in here. Their Terminators went down to 23, which is a drop across the board. Alright, so that's pretty much it for Blood Angels. Brother Cabolo's 83. Captain Tycho's 85. Chief Librarian Mephiston 160. Commander Dante, I believe, has dropped to 175. Limates is 100. Sanguinari is 150. Right, so again, there's some nice drops there for Blood Angels. Most of it's standard Space Marine drops, but there are a few of their special weapons that have gotten a drop as well. Their War Gear, so I'm just going to go through anything that's not standard that we might not have brought up in another video. Furioso Fists are 30 for a single, 40 for a pair now. Everything's pretty much the same. Just across the board, notable things. Storm Shields are 2 points. Again, check out some other videos for that. Blood Angels War Gear, same kind of stuff there. Okay, so Chaos Bastion War Gear, a heavy bolter is now 8. Chaos Demon units, we've gone through these. We've gone through all these. Chaos Space Marines, we've gone through all these. Craftworld units, Eldar, we've gone through all these. Dark Angels, I believe it's all the same as Space Marines, except you got Deathwing Knights down 35, Deathwing Taratos Terminator Squad 23, Deathwing Terminator Squad 23, Interrogator Chaplain 80, Interrogator Chaplain Terminator Armor 100, Interrogator Chaplain with Jump Pack 95, Land Raider same crap, Master and Gravis Armor 90, Master and Terminator 95, Primaris Chaplain's the same. Ravenwing Attack Bike down 25, Ravenwing Bikes 21, and Attack Bikes 25, Ravenwing Black Knights 38, Ravenwing Dark Talon 180, Ravenwing Land Speeders 50, Redemptor same. War Gear's the same, Plasmas remain the same. Well, not remain the same, but the same as like the other drops in the book, which again, check my lists down below. So, yeah. Death Guard units, again, we've done these guys. Check the links down below. Death Watch units, okay, I don't think we've done these guys. So, Bikers 21, it's all the same. Corvus Black Star is 135. Okay, I think that dropped a little bit. Let me just check that because I'm interested to see what the go is there. Hopefully I've stacked my codex here. Otherwise I don't know where it is. Space Rules, I don't think it's here. Yeah. Nah, they're too thick for a Death Watch book. I think I was reading it before somewhere else. Oh, damn it. I really want to cross-reference that point too. I think I know where it is. I think it's in there. All good. Okay, well look, it's 135. Aggressors, Intercessors, all the same as the other drops. Yeah, it's all pretty much stock standard. Marine stuff, Death Watch units there. Death Watch War Gear, stock standard. Just have a look for some of their... yeah, so... Storm Shields are 2, characters are 10 on the Storm Shields. Las Cannon's down to, like, Twin Las Cannon's down to 40 points, which is awesome. Relic Blade 90. That's across the board too for the Twin Las Cannons, just in case you didn't know. Alright, cool. Gene Stealer Colts, so I've gone through these ones as well. Grey Knights, have gone through them. Harlequins, War Gear, Fusion Pistol 7. Okay, some of the Imperial Knights War Gear got some changes. So the Heavy Flamer 14 points, Heavy Stubber 2, Melter Gun 14, Multi Laser 5, Twin Icarus Auto Cannons. Necron units, we've gone through them all already. Check the links below. Officio Storm units, Assassins. So Colossus Assassins 70, Vindicator 70 is 80. Sisters of Silence, Prosecutors are 10, Vigilators are 10, Witch Seekers are 10, Sisters of Silence War Gear, Executioners Great Blade 5, Flamer 6. Okay, Space Marine units, it's the same stuff, we've gone through these. Gone through all these, check the links below. Yeah, so Dark Angels, obviously they're going to be benefiting more now by having the cheaper Terminators. They've got their specialist detachments in the Vigilus book, which is pretty nuts, taking advantage of their Raven Wing squads and things like that, which are awesome. Blood Angels, like, are just going to make their Terminators cheaper now. You're going to get more bang for your buck. Chaos overall, look, Cultists went up to 6, but, you know, there were other drops in there that kind of offset that. Grey Knights, like, I don't know if they're a meta army now, but I think they probably will be, like, more playable. The reason is, like, I think that they would have needed to have come down a lot more to become a meta army. They came down by, like, maybe 30%. The problem is with all the sort of Astartes armies, the 3+ power armor armies, is that, you know, again, it just doesn't scale like on the power level I was talking about before. You just don't have the boots on the ground. When you have a game that's revolving around bodies and number of shots and all this kind of stuff, the average time that you're going to save a roll on a 3-up, especially with all the AP minus weaponry in the game, just isn't going to be enough to, like, tip the scales, you know. So, and the problem is that the Grey Knights are just, on top of being, like, you know, suffering from that +3 sort of, like, mid-level, mid-cost, you know, power armor sort of disadvantage, and, like, sort of specialist unit, is also that they're very extreme in that direction. So at least with you know, like Space Marines and that, you can put in scouts, you can do stuff like that. But when you're playing Custodes or Grey Knights, it starts to become very, very challenging to actually get the bodies together, you know. So that's my thoughts on that. However, I think that it'd be awesome to put together a Custodes army with Death Watch, or a Grey Knight army with Death Watch, and I think that'd be really awesome. You have, like, Custodes in there for the melee, and then Death Watch sitting back slamming the Hellblasters or the Primaris. The other one would be as well, like, I mean, you know, Grey Knights, and just switch the roles. Maybe you can ally in some Guard, maybe Saint Celestine, which I'll talk about probably tomorrow, and it should be pretty good. So, yeah. Okay, so Space Marines are done. Space Marines War Gear are done. Space Wolves. Now, we did have requests for Space Wolves. I'm just going to go through all these again, just in case. Now, I know, like, there weren't many massive changes to Space Wolves. There was nothing here for, like, the Fenrisian Great Axe or the Shield or anything like that. It was all just normal drops. There are a few here, though. So, Primaris Wolf Lord, 78. Primaris Wolf Priest, 80. Ruin Priest and Terminator, 102. Skyclaws, 15. Swiftclaw Attack Spikes, 25. 21 for... Yep. Swiftclaws. Wolf Guard, 14. Terminator's kind of just the same kind of stuff there. Space Wolf War Gear, all the same. Yep, all the same. Nothing there. Tau, we've gone through it. The 8, we've gone through it. Thousand Suns, we've gone through them. Tyranids have gone through them. Okay, so now we've got some updated values for Forgeworld. Now, I do believe I have not gone through them. So it's lottery time. I'm going to start going through them. Alright, let's enter the Forgeworld. So here we go. Here are the new points for the Forgeworld models. So let's just Assault Ram, 250, Contemptor Mortarist Dreadnought, 88, Demios Relic Predator, 90, Fire Raptor Gunship is 280, Infernum Pattern Razorback, 70, Land Raider Achilles I've actually got here, which I want to use, 230, Land Raider Helios, 215, Land Raider Prometheus, 250, Land Raider Tempest, 95, Lucius Dreadnought Drop Pod is 80, Relic Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer, 680, Relic Contemptor Dreadnought, 110, Relic Duridio Dreadnought, 120, Relic Faction Super Heavy Tank, 840, Relic Fellblade Super Heavy Tank, 740, Relic Javelin Attack Speeder, 110, Relic Land Raider Proteus is 225, Relic Mastodon Super Heavy Transport, 934, Relic Caesarean Punisher, 155, Relic Caesarean Venerator, 170, Relic Typhon Heavy Siege Tank is 720, Siege Dreadnought 80, So-Called Pattern Stormboard 2000, Tarantula Air Defense Battery is 1 to 370, Tarantula Sentry Gun 20, Thunderhawk Gunship 1330, Thunderhawk Transport 1000, Xiphon Inceptor 110. Okay, that was for Adeptus Astartes units. Now Adeptus Astartes War Gear. Assault Cannon 22, Celestian Battle Cannon 55, Combi Flamer 8, Combi Melter 15, Cyclone Missile Launcher 38, Dreadnought Chains Fists Pair 38 to 48, Dreadnought Combat Weapon 30 to 40, Flamer 6, Grav Flux Bombard 65, Heavy Flamer 14, Heavy Plasma Cannon 16, Leviathan Siege Claw Single per pair 3 to 40, Leviathan Siege Drill 40 to 50. Okay, looks like an up, I think. I'm going to have to check that out because I'm going to get some Leviathans going on. I'm going to get my Blood Angels one. I've got to order that too. Melter, Magnum Melter Cannon 50, Melter Gun 14, Missile Launcher 20, Multi-Melter 22, Plasma Destroyer 40, Power Fist 9, Predator Auto Cannon 40, Punisher Rotary Cannon 0, Seismic Hammer 40, Servo Arm 0, Twin Accelerator Auto Cannon 0, Twin Assault Cannon 44, Twin Auto Cannon 30, Twin Handy Flavor 28, Twin Las Cannon 40, Twin Multi-Melter 40, Typhoon Missile Launcher 38, Whirlwind Calistanian Launcher 15. Okay, now Astra Militarum. So, Astra Militarum units, Armageddon Pattern Medusa 115, Armicha Pattern Hellhound 73, Avenger Strike Fighter 150, Cyclops Demolition Vehicle 60, Dominus Armored Siege Bombard 600, Earthshaker Battery 115, Earthshaker Carriage Battery, Earthshaker Carriage 105, Guardsman Crew is 4 each, Gorgon Heavy Transport 300, Griffin Mortar Carrier 77, Heavy Quad Launcher 85, Guardsman Crew 4, Hydra Battery 75, Imperium Fortress War 800, Lehman Russ Annihilator 112, Lehman Russ Conqueror 122. So 122 Annihilator, Conqueror 122, both the same. Astra Militarum units, so Lehman Russ Siges Vanquisher 160, Lightning Strike Fighter 125, Manticore Battery 110, Medusa Carriage Battery, Medusa Carriage 100, Guardsman Crew 4, Primaris Redoubt 700, Rapier Laser Destroyer, I love that name, that's awesome, Rapier, 80 for the Laser Destroyer and 4 for the Guardsman Crew, Salamander Command Vehicle 110, Strategies Destroyer Tank Hunter 160, Strategist Thunder Siege Tank 160, Tarantula Battery 20, Thunderhold Heavy Fighter 125, Artemia Inferno, this is now for Astra Militarum War Gear as well. So Artemia Inferno Cannon is 20, Auto Cannon 10, Defense Searchlight 20, Demolisher Cannon 20, Flamer 6, Grenade Launcher 3, Heavy Flamer 14, Heavy Stubber 2, Hellstrike Missiles 3, Melter Gun 10, Melter Gun Other Models 14, Missile Launcher 15, Multi-Laser 5, Multi-Melter 15, Multi-Rocket Pod is 8, Plasma Cannon is 10, Plasma Gun Model is 7, Plasma Gun Other Models is 11, Power Fist is 8, Twin Assault Cannon 144, Twin Heavy Flamer is 128, Corsair Cloud Dancer Band, this is a series Zanari units, Corsair Cloud Dancer Band 20, Corsair Cloud Dancer Felinac 25, Corsair Reaver Band 7, Corsair Reaver Felinac is 12, Corsair Sky Reaver Band is 10, Corsair Sky Reaver Felinac is 15, Hornet is 60. Okay, Morisarian units, so Phoenix 183, Reverent Titan 2000, Scorpion 700, Scaltatch Wraith Knight 420, Vampire Hunter is 1500, Warp Hunter is 175, Wasp Walker, Assault Walker 55, Wraith Seer 100, Esenari War Gear, Aldari Missile Launcher 20, D Cannon 45, Death Shroud Cannon 45, Flamer is 6, Fusion Gun 14, Hornet Pulse Laser is 25, Prism Blaster 25, Prism Rifle is 20, Scatter Laser 7, Shuriken Cannon 10, Sonic Lance 60, Star Cannon 13, Twin Shuriken Cannon 17, Twin Shuriken Catapult 2, Twin Star Cannon 24, Wraith Cannon 15. Looks like it's storming pretty bad out there, guys. Sorry about that. Just going to have to wear it. I'll try to polish this book off as much as I can. I can't come back to it. I've got to get this video done now. Children of the Warp units. Acryos Raukius, 1,500. Agrath Unbound, 888. Giant Chaos Spawn, 150. Mammoth Tarifson Guard, 200. Plague Toads of Nurgle, 58. Pox Riders of Nurgle, 63. Samius, 155. Scalabrinax the Bloated, 777. Spined Chaos Beast, 150. Ukra the Warfiend, 150. Zachanel, 666. Ooh, yo. Sign of the Beast. Demonic Icon, 15. Bloodslaughter of Khorne, 165. Greater Blight Drone, 170. Greater Brass Scorpion of Khorne, 650. Demon Bound War Gear, Butcher Cannon, 25. Catalan Gatling Cannon, 80. Soul Burner Pre-Trade is 60. Death Corps Krieg units. Death Corps Krieg Command Squad, 7. Death Corps Combat Engineer Squad, 7. Death Corps Commissar, 15. Death Corps Death Rider Commissar, 35. Death Corps Grenadier Storm Squad, 8. Death Corps Lehman Russ Mars Alpha Battle Tanks, 122. Death Corps Krieg War Gear, Albareva Storm Armor, Mine Plow, 10. Autocannon, 10. Demolisher Cannon, 20. Eradicator Nova Cannon, 15. Executioner Plasma Cannon, 15. Exterminator Autocannon, 16. Flamer, 6. Grenade Launcher is 3. Heavy Flamer, 14. Heavy Stubber, 2. Hotshot Lasgun, 0. Hotshot Las Pistol, 0. Medipack, 5. Melter Gun model with Ballistic Skill 4 up is 10. Melter Gun other models, 15. Missile Launcher, 15. Multi-Laser, 5. Multi-Melter, 15. Multiple Rocket Pods, 8. Plasma Cannons, 10. Plasma Cannons is 7. Same as the other one. Plasma Guns, 11. Power Fist, 8. Twin Heavy Stubber, 8. Rancrisher Battle Cattle, 15. Jukari units. This is the only Jukari change in here. The Tantalus is now 400 points. Elysian Drop Troops Command Squad, 7. And Veteran Squads are 7. Elysian Drops Troops War Gear. Auxiliary Grenade Launcher, 0. Flamer, 6. Grenade Launcher, 3. Heavy Flamer, 14. Medipack, 5. Melter Gun, 10. Melter Gun, 14. Missile Launcher, 15. Melter Gun, it's the same kind of stuff. Gonna skip it. Urgine Colts units. Chaos Fire Raptor Assault Gunship, 280. Chaos Hellblade, 90. Chaos Hell Talon, 180. Chaos Sokar Pattern Stormboars Bird is 2000, same as the Loyalist. Chaos Thunderhawk Gunship, 1330, same as the Loyalist. Chaos Xiphon Interceptor, 110. Irine Colts War Gear. Balefire Missiles is 30. Havoc Launcher, 6. Reaper Battery, 3. Twin Las Cannon, 4. Multi-Melter Twin is 40. Sorry, Twin Las Cannon's 40, not 4. And Twin Multi-Melter. All the Chaos Gods are upset with me now. Grey Knights, Inquisition, Sisters units. Inquisitional Land Raider Prometheus, 250. Solaris Hass, Repressor, 91. Thunderhawk Assault Gunship, 1130. Vulture Pattern Land Raider Redeemer, 215. Vulture Pattern Razorback is 70. Alright, get through them, last pages. Grey Knights, Heavy Psy Cannon, 24. Incinerator, 13. Multi-Melter, 22. Psy Cannon, 50. Hellforged units. Chaos Space Marine Crew, 10. Hellforged Cerberus Heavy Destroyer, 650. Hellforged Contemptor Dreadnought, 88. Hellforged Doradio Dreadnought, 120. Hellforged Dreadclaw Drop Pod, 115. Hellforged Faction, 840. Hellforged Field Place, 740. Hellforged Kitrabilis Assault Claw, 325. Hellforged Land Raider Achilles, 230. Hellforged Land Raider Proteus, 225. Hellforged Macedon, 934. Hellforged Predator, 95. Hellforged Caesarian, 150. Hellforged Caesarian Venator, 150. Hellforged Typhon Heavy Siege Tank, 70. Hellforged War Gear. Butcher Cannon, 25. Butcher Cannon Array, 40. Combi Flamer, 8. Combi Melter, 15. Combi Plasma, 11. Dual Miguelis Saka, 40. Ectoplasm Blaster, 11. Ectoplasm Cannon, 20. Havoc Launcher, 6. Heavy Flamer, 14. Heavy Hellforged Chain Claw Single Pair, 38 to 48. Hellforged Scaff Claw Single Pair, 30 to 40. Hellforged Sea Claw, 30 to 40. Hellforged Siege Drill, 40 to 50. Infernal Flamestorm Cannons are 30. Magna Melter Cannon, 50. Maglias Beam Laser, 0. Melter Guns, 14. Melter Gun, 22. Plasma Destroyer, 40. Predator Auto Cannon, 40. Soul Burner is 30. Hellforged Wargear Soul Burner Bombard is 90. Twin Accelerator Cannon, 0. Twin Auto Cannon, 30. Twin Heavy Flamer is 28. Twin Las Cannons, 40. Twin Multi-Melter, 140. Heretic Titan Legion, so Chaos Reaver Battle Titan 4000. Chaos Warhound Tower Skeleton 2000. Chaos Warhound Tower 6000. Lords of the Ruin units, Necrocious Dying Undying 135. Zophar the Impaler 120. Lords of the Ruin Wargear, Combi Melter 15, Flamer 6, Infernal Gate, Infernal Axe 0, Soulburner 0, Soulburner Pistol 0, Void Cutter 0, Warfire Lance 30, Necron units, Catapact Tomb Sentinel 145, Catapact Tomb Stalker 130, Gauss Pylon 475, Night Shroud 185, Sentry Pylon 70, Tesseract Arc 160, sounds like the horse rating. Coming up the sound around on the ball. So, Tesseract Arc 160, Torok Behind 125, Staff of Light 10, Shinarok War Copter 65. This is Orcs, so this is Orcs footage. Shinarok War Copter 74, Kill Tank 365, Squivet 170, last page. Orcs Wargear, Big Chopper 5, Kill Cannon 15, Lifter Dropper is 0, Rack of Rockets 24, Supper Cannon is 30, Twin Big Shooter 10, Acrostus Knight for Lithion 600, Criestus Knight Lancer 360, Questus Knight Magienta 380, Questa Imperius Wargi Auto Cannon 10, Cassius Bolt Cannons 50, Renegades and Heretics units, Maleficent Lord is 80, Renegade Command Squad 6, Renegade Disciple Squad 6, Renegade Militia Squad is 10, 20, 4, Renegade Cultists 10 and 30, so it's 5, Renegades and Heretics Wargear, Auto Cannon 10, Flamer 6, Grenade Launcher 3, Heavy Stubber 2, Melter Gun 10, Melter Gun other models 14, Missile Launcher 15, Plasma Gun, Ballistic 4+, 7, Plasma Gun 11, Power Fist 8, Tower Empire units, Black Light Marker Drone 7, TX7 Fire Support, Hammerhead Gunships 100, XV9 Hazard Support Team 40, TX7 Heavy Bombard Hammerhead Gunship 100, Manta Super Heavy Dropship 2000, DX Remora Stealth Drone Squadron 30, KX139 Taminar Supremacy Armor 750, Tower Empire Wargear, Burst Cannon 8, Fusion Blaster 18, Missile Pod 15, Plasma Rifle 8, Rail Rifle 12, Titan Legion units, Reaver Battle Titan. This is just standard. It's the same as the Chaos ones. It's Loyalist Titans. Trader Questoris units, Renegade Knight Lancer 360, Renegade Knight Magienta 380, Renegade Knight Profrion 600, Trader Crescius Wargi, Auto Cannon 10, Crusader Bolt Cannon 50, Tyranids, Barbed Herib Duel 420, Heraphyte Bio Titan 2000, Manithrope 140, Tyranids Wargi, Massive Siphoning Talons 1 pair, 22, Siphoning Talons 2 or more pairs 60. Whew! Okay, we did it. Okay. So everybody, I'm not sure how much memory card I got left. I doubt it's going to be much. So that is my comprehensive go-through of Chapter Approved 2018. If you liked the video or even just found anything useful or even just respected the effort, please consider subscribing to the channel, alright? Because it, you know, the more subscribers we have, the more motivated I am to sit here for 3 hours and cut this stuff up. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Any comments or questions, please down below. Comment in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, share, and remember to check the rest of the points values and other links down in the description below. There is going to be heaps of them. Alright, fantastic everybody. For the Emperor, I'll see you in the next video.